Alright guys, welcome back. Yeah, there is a right and a left wheel for this. I have spoken with my dealer and they're going to get the other one up to me pretty soon, I'm hoping. So we're not going to let that stop us. I have part of it sitting on the sawhorse, and I think we're going to continue with this assembly here as far as what else we can get on here. Even though it's only sitting on the ground here, but we'll just keep putting this together. That way when the wheel comes, all I have to do is put that on and we should be done. So a little unorthodox, but we're gonna continue here. The next thing I found, we have this PTO shield here. This shield is gonna go on over this. And then there's a hose clamp that goes around the, to hold it on. They give you a big hose clamp to clamp that on. Pretty sure it goes that way. There's these two little tabs on either side, and that probably suggests that they're gonna have those chains on the shield, so we'll look at that. But I'm gonna put that on next here and just see how it holds out. All right, we got that on. We got this hose clamp on. I don't have a whole lot of faith in it. It seems a little bit loose, but we got it tightened down as tight as we can make it without stripping the hose clamp. So we'll see. It's on. The next thing I'm going to install is the center shield, I'm pretty sure. Because we should be done here at the center, then everything here should be done as far as assembled, so we can put the center shield on. And to do that, there's I found 4 of these little studs here in the bag, and 4 of these lock nuts, and 8 washers. So I'm guessing we can assume that that's the hardware to install this shield here. So let's see how it goes on. All right, that looks about right. The hardware seems to hold out where it's supposed to go. Looks like a washer on the outside, washer on the inside. I think it's worth mentioning, worth noting that all of the fasteners on this tedder are metric. So if you do buy any tedder like this and have to assemble it, you will need some metric wrenches and tools. So it is what it is. I actually worked with a guy that did not believe in metric tools. He would not buy metric tools, and he had no metric tools in his toolbox. He would use standard tools on metric, and if it didn't work out, that he couldn't get a bolt out or something, he would go to the vice grip and the adjustable wrench, because he says metric is a money racket. So I don't know. I do have a set of metric tools, so I don't usually keep them down here in the shop because most of my stuff isn't metric, but he will need metric. So we're going to tighten some of these bolts up and get them snugged down. Like I say, I should be done here with the center section, other than putting the PTO shaft on, but we'll do that last. So I'm going to tighten these bolts down. I'm going to use my impact driver, just take it a little easy because they aren't very big bolts. So let's get into it. All right, that seemed to work out good. We got that on. Now we're going to put these wings on either side. They are marked right. And I don't know if you can see it. That one does have an L for left. You'll see these pockets here. So they fit in these pockets. A square channel sets in these pockets, and then there's bolts that go through here. I did find 4 bolts in the bag, so that would mean 2 in here and 2 over there. They're the longer ones, and then there's 4 shorter ones. And if you look down here, see if I can't line this up without dumping this whole tedder off the sawhorse. And get in position here. Get it. There we go. There you can see where the holes are. They also give you washers to put on the bolts. So we're going to put anti-seize on and assemble this, put this right frame on. They are front and back. You want the holes at the very end. You see that hole right there at the back, because there's a center stabilizer that goes across. So up here on the front, you'll notice there's no hole. So you can almost get them wrong as long as you have a right and a left. So let's get into it. All right, so here's the view before I snug everything down. You see there's 2 bolts here that are in the housing that you snug up, that go in. They are metric, and then there's 2 longer ones here to tie this down that fits in the square channel. These here are lock nuts, and then the washers go on these bolts. There's only 4 washers, so that would be 2 on this side, 2 on the other side. So these don't get washers, just the lock nut. So we can tighten these down, snug them up. and this piece should be good the way it is. One thing I will say with this Tedder, I'm very fussy with having nice looking paint, especially on something new. Now in shipping, this is scuffed. It is a couple places where there's paint scuffed off of it. One thing H&S did, and I don't know if they all do this, they did send a can of touch-up paint of H&S Red. So that's kind of a neat gesture anyway for guys that are a little fussier like me. I know eventually the paint's going to be wore off and it's going to look like an old piece of farm equipment, but I don't know. I like to enjoy it a little bit. So yeah, they sent a thing of touch-up paint, which was a nice idea, because shipping this stuff rattling around in trucks and being handled with forklifts and then at the dealership, it's going to have all kinds of scuffs on it. And when you buy something new, you want the paint to be nice. I don't know. Maybe I'm too fussy, but it's nice that they send it anyway. So they're catering to us guys that are fussy. So, all right, I'm going to snug those on and then move on to the next step. All right, so now we just have a case of what we do on one side, we have to do on the other. So if you'll take notice on this side, I moved the sawhorse a little bit. I repositioned it for safety so that this can't roll off on me. Put some blocks under to level it so it's level now. And we put this other wing on this side. Like I say, you just got 2 metric bolts here with flat washers, and then 2 longer bolts in here with lock nuts on the ends. So got that finished. Next we're going to move on to there's a rod that goes across the back. I have to see if I can't put that on while it's sitting here. I'm probably not going to be able to move it until we get the other wheel, so we'll just keep working at it and keep putting pieces on. So let's get into the next thing. All right, so it warmed up here a little bit. I don't need my air conditioning gloves anymore. You'll take notice there's this rod here, and it's basically, it's going to go across the back there to connect these 2 wings, mainly for stability, I'd say. I'd say that's basically just a rod to help keep things from flexing too much. So in here in the hardware bag, they give you 2 of these cotter keys, and they also give you 2 of these quick clips. I'm going to say it's the cotter pins, because these I think we're going to be using someplace else. So it's just a matter of putting this rod in, putting your cotter pins in, and bending them over. So let's put this on and see where we are as far as what hardware is left. All right, so I guess I'll have to refer to the manual for the next section to see. You'll take notice of these here, these pieces they gave with. I have 2 of them. One of them is going to go here for sure. This is to keep your crank here from vibrating or spinning around while you're out tedding. I don't know if it's that one or this one. Now this one here, one of them goes here. And I don't know which one it is, and I don't even know what this one does yet. In the making of this video, I don't have the manual in front of me, so I have to look into that and see which one's which, and that's what these clips are for. That's why I didn't use them for that back piece that I put on. You can see it's on now, that bar that goes across. It would make sense that it be this one. Keep it here. Just because it's narrower and it kind of fits the groove there. And I'm going to tell you one thing I see with this Tedder that I do not like, that is very cheesy, and I'm going to call H&S out on it right away. You see how this is welded here. So you see it's just a square piece here. Now granted, it's not doing a whole lot, but if you take notice, I don't know if the camera picked that up, but it is very, it's only tacked here with a tiny little weld. So this here is very cheesy. I know it's a cheap Tedder, but I don't like that. That should be a little bit heavier. At least put a piece on the bottom side and tack it fast, instead of trying to save a step. First thing I don't like. So I'm pretty sure it's this one. I'm pretty sure it drops in here, and basically all these holes here, put the clip in and it's going to lock it in place. But that still doesn't tell me what this one here is for. It does have a hole in it also for one of these clips, so I have to look into that. I have to figure out what this is for, and this is the only place I can see where it goes, unless it's a spare or an extra. I don't know yet. We'll learn as we go here. So I'm pretty well at the point now where I can start putting the tines on, the tedder tines. I don't know if I can where it's sitting here with everything piled up against it. I'm kind of working here in the corner, and with not having that wheel to be able to move it around, I think that's where I'm going to end this video. I really didn't want to post this in many parts. I wanted to make it all one video from start to finish, just in case anybody wanted to see how to assemble this. Now I'm dragging it on, but I'm kind of at the point where I'm as far as I can go. So I am keeping track of the time just to see how long it takes, and I'm taking my time, and I don't have all the tools in front of me. I had to run for some tools from time to time, but I just want to see how long it takes to put this together, just to show you what the value of the assembly price versus the non-assembled price is, just to see how much you save by doing it yourself, by putting it together yourself. And if it only takes we'll just say an hour and a half, and I don't think I'll have that in it, but let's say it takes an hour and a half to put it together. An hour and a half could be worth $350. It's amazing. So we'll see. I don't know yet. I'll keep track. And I'm also filming too, so I have to take that into account. So basically now it's just a case of putting the tines on and the PTO shaft, and that should be pretty much it. They don't give you a place for a SMV decal or sign that I can't see that they have a place for that. Not that I'm going on the road, it's just something I look for, something new. They usually, depending on what new equipment you buy, they give you a brand new triangle. Not the case for this, and there's no place to put it on here. So I'm not on the road anyway, so I guess we're gonna end it. Stay tuned for the finale. It'll be the last video. I won't make any more videos on this until I get the tire. Once I get the tire on and can move it, we'll finish up the last video by putting the tines on, putting the power takeoff shaft on, and running it. I'll get everything adjusted and in the right place. We will grease it, check our gearbox, make sure everything's good to go, and we will do a test run here in the shop on the 395. And I'll give you some of the specifications. I'll get the tape measure out and we'll measure it to see what the width is and that kind of stuff. So I appreciate you guys for following along in this series. I apologize that it is a series. I didn't intend to do that. I wanted to make it one video, but it's just kind of how it is. This would be the third or fourth time now I had an issue with either parts or some problem. So yeah, I'll leave it there. So I guess we'll end it there for the day. I did do a couple other odd jobs I didn't get on camera. I did get the fuel fillers changed on the 395 finally. It has 2 brand new fuel filters, so that's good to go. So I did get that done, and we got some more parts for our 1086. I did get that rubber line, maybe you remember me talking about, for the injection pump. That'll be another video. So hey, one cool thing is it's red. It matches my my collection, but wouldn't have mattered what color it was. I was going by price. So stay tuned, guys. We'll do a finale, and I'll run it for you guys and give you my final thoughts and kind of wrap this up. So thanks for watching. I appreciate it.